What is good? My name is Mike Osterman, and in today's video, we're going to learn the G-turn. A G-turn involves doing an arced nose wheelie followed by a 180-degree pivot off the nose. It sort of draws a G on the ground, which is why we call it a G-turn. Now, before you go out and learn the G-turn, it's helpful if you know how to do wheelies, nose wheelies, and monster walks. We'll have trick tips for all of those tricks in the description as well. To do the G-turn, begin with your back foot in the back pocket and with your front foot kind of angled on the nose, sort of a 45-degree angle. Press into a nose wheelie and lean into the direction that you wish to carve the G-turn. Slowly try to make the turn tighter until you're nearly spinning. And finally, end by swinging your back wheels around to end fakie. And that's a G-turn. Easy, right? Let's break it down. You can't expect to do huge sweeping G-turns right out the gate. So it's important to first practice nose wheelies and just small arced wheelies when you begin learning the G-turn. I suggest practicing stationary nose wheelies in grass or on carpet. It's a great way to start developing the strength that you need in your legs to keep your balance. It's also a great way to pass the time during the cold months. Oh my gosh, my board is so muddy. Really, as soon as you start practicing on grass, you should also start trying them a little bit on concrete. Roll slowly, have your front foot angled on the nose, bend your knees, shoulders back, face forward slightly, and pick up those back wheels. Notice that my chin is up, my center of gravity is a little bit forward. Next, you can practice the arc of the G-turn, but just practice a small one. Press into a nose wheelie and begin leaning into the center of your arc. So for me, I'm leaning a little bit to the left, or I guess heel side. You'll also notice that as I lean this way with my upper body, I'm pressing hard into the ball of my foot, which is on the toe side edge of the board. This combination of leaning into the turn and pressing into the outside of the turn helps to pull my board into a smooth arc. As you get more comfortable with that arced wheelie, try to start with a wide arc and slowly pull the turn tighter and tighter, sort of drawing a spiral with the path of your wheelie. Woo! You might find that as you tighten the spin of your G-turn, it feels like your back wheels want to swing around with a tight 180. That is the final pivot of the G-turn. And as you get closer to doing a spiral, the middle of the turn, you might notice it just wants to end over. Okay, there are a few things that you want to avoid doing when you're learning the G-turn. Number one is don't hunch your shoulders. It'll be much easier to hold the G-turn, keep your head up and your shoulders back, than if you were hunched over here and constantly falling forward. It also helps if you have your front foot angled slightly. Notice I don't have my front foot square on the nose or on the ball of my foot. My front foot is flat, angled up the nose slightly, even covering up some of the bolts of my front truck. What this does is it allows me to use my ankle to do some of the work in keeping the board balanced. It also allows me to press into the pocket, like I said earlier, when I'm leaning into the turn. And finally, don't forget to bend your knees. It's going to be very hard to balance if you keep your legs straight the whole time. Try to stay loose, bend your knees, and you'll have an easier time adjusting and keeping your balance in the G-turn. The G-turn is one of those tricks that might feel impossible when you first try it. But if you follow the steps and take your time practicing regular nose wheelies, small arcs, and finally full G-turns, I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out. Be patient with yourself, give these a try, and if you've mastered them already, you can try a bunch of different variations that I'm really bad at. Variations like hang 10 G-turns. Oh. G-turn to spin. tuck knee, G-turn, tuck knee, fakie, G-turn, one wheel G-turn. G-turns are hard. Be patient with yourself. Have fun with it. And we'll see you next week for another trick tip or video of some sort. Maria's about to learn Casper's. Keep being good to each other. Keep dancing. We'll see you next week.